Now, the great agents of HNIB have delivered a cache of documents after a thorough investigation that has lasted for 8 months. It is so comprehensive that even through this social media address, I'm unable to cover everything. But I will definitely cover a few things of interest. And then over the next 2 days, I will slowly unleash document by document on the different issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. Let's start the process of exposing these people who have generally been stealing from the sick and from Kenyans, and at the same time pretending to hold a higher moral ground. What I will do, let's agree, because I also need to go to Twitter for spaces that's already advertised. What I will do, I'll go through the general. As you can see from this table, I have document after document, and some documents are up to 30, 50 pages document KEMSA. Some of them are commitment letters, some to avoid the procurement. Some of them you can even see they have handwriting saying please assist, and basically some of them even have names and addresses of who to be assisted. You know, procurement director, please assist. This is a Jubilee referral, please assist. This is one of our own. There is even stamp, or some of them dated 7th July. Some of them, interestingly, on the same day, you see like George Theuri of Joachim Supplies. I have document after document. These documents are going to be uploaded on a PDF on our website near you. I've been talking to some bloggers and people who own blogs and websites so that they can upload the PDF. So the PDF will be uploaded by at least 40 bloggers who I have contacted and I'm working with, have agreed to work with me on this one so that they can be able to upload it. So the documents are there, they will be uploaded. Beyond that, there is a bigger document that then shows which company it is, when was the contract done, when did what was the reason for award, was it a direct procurement, and was it emergency, the list of directors, shareholders, and beneficial owners, nationality of the directors, because you'll find some who are not even Kenyans, and then, of course, the postal addresses. So what we have is a legit thing. You obviously expect after this, there will be several people raising different issues as they always do, but we are ready for them because this has been a comprehensive investigation which builds up on what has been happening. So let's get into it. We are going to start off. We're going to start off our exposure with saying exactly who benefited and who benefited out of this. So I'll start with the President Uhuru Kenyatta's family. Ziwala Limited. Ziwala Limited had several contracts, and Ziwala Limited got first. There was a contract on the 30th of June 2020, and of PO Box 43250-00100. Ziwala Limited got on that day 84 million Kenya shillings. 84 million Kenya shillings. Ziwala Limited is registered under Nyokafi, who is a sister to President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Catherine Kihanya, who is also a relative of President Uhuru Kenyatta. After that, we go to Gideon Moi. Gideon Moi. First, what he procured directly, African Herbal Company. As I said, the figures and the documents are going to be uploaded later if you want to follow up. For now, I'll just do a general summary. So African Herbal that was negotiated for, whether it belongs to him but he's the one who pushed KEMSA to give that award. That's African Herbal. Then there is Mega Trading. He also used Everywhere Distributors. Everywhere Distributors. That's Gideon Moi. Gideon Moi is also closely mentioned in a company that for a long time has always been associated publicly with Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja, but our investigations show that Shop and Buy was pushed for and fronted by Gideon Moi. Then there is Amic Limited. Amic Limited is an interesting company that has, supplies furniture, but all of a sudden became an expert in supplying medical supplies. This company belongs to one Kibicho. Amic Limited, and if it does not belong to him, he's the one who technically pushed for the award from KEMSA. Then from there, Honorable Kwenya through Light Up, where I'm able to pull the documents immediately. I'll pull them up for you. But even if I don't manage to pull, like for instance, this is a document that has Ziwala Limited, which was at this point awarded 30 pieces of the N95 face mask. Ziwala is an interesting company, signed by June Kenya, who is the managing director. They had written to KEMSA on the 27th of April, and on 28th April, they had an answer awarding them. So on 27th April 2020, they wrote and said, we have imported respiratory masks that are being used by medical personnel to help in meeting the high demand for the same during the COVID-19 issue. And they went on to list 800 per mask, quantity 30,000, and as you can see, there is a CEO office received stamp. Then there is Ziwala Limited, their stamp, and Jude Kenya, the managing director, who had signed it off. And they say they are on Giga Road, off Kunde Road, Valley Arcade. And there is an interesting thing that happens on the whole of this thing. The procurement director is instructed to facilitate on the 28th of April. Immediately that is given, remember this was just a day after, immediately that is given, there is a commitment letter issued from KEMSA. The government of Kenya is prepared to respond to coronavirus threats and blah, 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 and you are therefore requested to supply the quantities. Listen to this. You are therefore requested to supply the quantities for the mentioned commodities to KEMSA Embakasi warehouse on or before Friday 8th May in response to the emergency. The procurement process will commence thereafter. So supply, get paid, then we do the procurement. And please note your supplies will be accepted using a delivery note, as the other documents shall follow to facilitate payment. And this is paid to Catherine Kihanya, and the ID number is listed there. I'll continue pulling up documents as I see them. The next person is Governor Kuti through Bluto Company. Then there is Senator Bito through a company called BML Industries. Just need to check with my technical guys whether everything is still okay. They're telling me a heads up. So BML Logistics. That's Senator Bito. Kanini Kega, you know, these people who have always told us about corruption and the way they want to do a different thing, fronted Power Options, a company called Power Options. Catherine Kihanya again is mentioned on a company called Sadels International, and still with Nyoks or Nyokabi. Then an in-law of the former chairman of KEMSA, that's Kembi, the former senator of Muranga, had a company called Zicotech ZA, which also supplied during this time. Then there is Honorable Kwenya through a company called Light Up. Of course, I've mentioned the Kibicho, and I've also mentioned the Gideon Moi. Then Munga, the banker, through a company called Zanitoria Nuts, supplied. Then, of course, there's MedLife by Honorable Mishra. Now you understand why he's having a very difficult time joining the most popular party in his area, because, of course, they have something they are holding on him through MedLife. Then there is Muranga Women Rep, Sabina Chege, through Proteta Holdings. Proteta Holdings is specifically very interesting, and I will try before the end of this broadcast to get you Proteta Holdings. I'm sorry I hadn't really, because you see I've also come from work. We've been going around up what you'd call the former Eastern Province. So I've just arrived, and maybe we can go back to Kibicho, which was Amic Limited. Amic Limited writes on 22nd of April, and they get a commitment letter on the same day, and it is awarded to the person who is handling it is called Rosalind Buki. If you Google Luzrin Boogie, you'll find some very interesting cases, but because you know these are all furniture companies, it's all based on furniture. So it's an interesting place to get. I'll try within Protector Holdings. So Protector Holdings, which I've told you is Sabina Cheges, has a commitment letter that is issued on the 26th of March 2020. Remember, this is just a few days after we discovered our first case. And this is issued to a guy called Meshach Ndungu. Meshach Ndungu. They get surgical gloves, 7.5, 50 pieces, and 20,000 pieces of that. Guys, I will appreciate if you don't call, because then we are also in the process of doing something. Even if you're calling on WhatsApp, don't call for now. Then there is that's Protector Holdings through Meshach Ndungu. That's Protector, which is owned by which was funded by Sabina. Then the interesting thing, Mount Kenya Foundation. Remember, this Mount Kenya Foundation has been telling us they are interviewing for us the next president through Bell Industries, which I had seen earlier. Bell Industries is here, supplied several, and one of these in Bell Industries is done through Stephen Mtiga of 072287 and end 01. On Monday 26th May, they get an emergency procurement of infrared thermometers. That's Ibui. And that company, when I get it here, I'll tell you exactly who else is involved, because it's almost the entire his family that is used to do this. But anyway, as I said, on a website near you, you will get that. Then there is also Duke Agencies, Chiskitoni. Then there is Sagana Holdings, again Kembi Gitura. Then there is Joachim Kagwe. This country, we have a problem. Kagwe, Joachim. Then there is Caperina. Now this Caperina, it's very unfortunate. It's registered under the family, 3 family members of Meru Senator Kiraito Murungi. And that explains to you what is going on. Then Escobar. You know, Escobar is more basically just like the Escobar involved in the drug heist movies, and who was actually a real person who escaped, who had an issue about drugs. Escobar belongs to CAS Rachel Shebesh. Then there is Sirem, again fronted by Sabina Chege. Then there is Bremer, fronted by Senate Speaker Lusaka. Then Medlife of Mishra, that's Medlife. Then there is Meraki, again fronted by Sabina. Then there is Akencha, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but it's Acenture, Acenture, fronted by one David Murade, who's been on TV denying every possible thing, but now we have evidence that completely nails him and puts him at the front of it. Then there is Tron's company, again fronted by Shebesh. Ladies and gentlemen, that becomes the general feel of it. There is a lot of other people mentioned here. We have a list that goes to almost this one 360 people who are involved in this thing. I only mentioned the ones who would be of great interest to our country because of the positions they hold and the claims they have made in public, as opposed to what they are doing in private in darkness. We will continue exposing this for the next 2-3 days. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, you have it. That is how the KEMSA theft was done. Thank you very much. Let's now meet on Twitter, where we are going to have a Twitter space in a few. Thank you very much. See you later, guys. Thank you very much.